Hello, Oneers. Welcome to our groovy new user-friendly website thing. Um, we've got the data report coming out soon, a couple of weeks. The data report, most of you know, is really a report card on progress or lack of progress of the G8 and political commitments made between African states and the North. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Most often some countries are doing stuff and others aren't. But it serves an incredibly useful purpose for policymakers and indeed for promoting policy. So for me it is the important part of the year. There's an opportunity to get involved in that at the launch of the data report, which is happening on June the 11th. We're going to launch it on a panel with Bill Gates and Desmond Tutu, and there'll be a lot of journalists from all over the world at this thing. It's taken very seriously, this thing that we all do together. And what we'd like is really to have some questions from you, Bob, informed questions. Obviously you wouldn't be engaged in this issue if you weren't already informed about the world. And inevitably your questions will be far more interesting and far more pertinent than anything that the journalists are going to ask, being generalists rather than specific type of people. So we're going to pick out the best questions, or the ones that need to be answered on that day, not necessarily the best questions, but the ones that are most pertinent to this year's report, which is coming out actually just before the next G8. We're also bringing it out in cooperation with the Africa Progress Panel, which is chaired by Kofi Annan. So these questions will really have a broad reach and a wide political ramification. So, you know, if you can think about it and consider what's going on now and in Africa and what we should all be doing together, you know, put those questions there and we'll get the panel to answer them on June the 11th.